Have you ever thought about what infidelity can do to your relationship? Have you ever imagined how it's going to affect you? Infidelity erodes the very core of your partner's life. It can cause them excruciating pains. The betrayal can be so devastating, and it can lead to bitterness, resentment, and revenge. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through some strategies that will help you stop cheating on your partner. Stay tuned. Not being faithful to your partner can ruin you in so many ways. First, you stand the risk of contracting sexually transmitted infections like HIV, hepatitis B and C, and other sexually transmitted infections. You can further now transmit this infection to your partner, which can be very disastrous. There are a lot of people that have lost their lives as a result of these diseases. So you must be very careful. Secondly, it can lead to separation and divorce. Have you ever thought about what will happen to your children following a divorce? It's been shown that divorce can impact greatly on a child's mental well-being. Another thing that you stand to lose is your self-respect, both at home, in the office, and everywhere you are known. So if you are cheating on your partner, consider changing your behavior, as this can completely destroy your relationship. I will share 5 strategies that can help you to stay faithful to your spouse. 1. Decide you will remain faithful to your spouse no matter what. All it takes is a decision. A choice has to be made by you. To achieve this, you need to depend on God, because faithfulness in marriage is a choice. It's a commitment you have to stick to every single day. A man can get married to the most beautiful woman in the world with a very good character, have sex with her every night or every other night, but still cheat on her. So being married does not mean your sexual feelings cannot be aroused by another person. Not at all. It means staying committed to your vows and consciously choosing to remain faithful to your spouse no matter what. Yes, you'll be faced with temptations from day to day. You can even meet an amazing person that you love to bond with, but your decision to remain faithful will keep you in check. Really. When you strongly decide to stick to something, you are likely going to pull through it. But if you are not firm with your decisions, you are likely going to be unable to control your passion. And when that terrible urge comes, you become incapacitated and subsequently succumb to it. If you lack the capacity and the willpower to stay faithful, you need help. There must be something you are struggling with that renders you so weak. Identify the key weaknesses and start working on them one day at a time. Run to God to help you overcome, because for by strength shall no man prevail. You can also get a therapist that can help you on the journey of trying to recover from that weakness. And bottom line is, don't give up. A day at a time. Keep striving to maintain and stick to the decision of being faithful to your partner. The second advice that I have for you today is for you to identify the root cause of your cheating habits. A lot of the time, people have different reasons why they cheat. Some of the reasons include financial difficulties, bad attitudes of their partners, lack of affection and sex, and so on and so forth. So you have to identify why you are cheating so that you can be able to address those reasons as time goes on. Really, you don't have to cheat. Simply because sex has become so boring, or your spouse nags and you are getting so uncomfortable in your home, and that is enough reason why you have to become unfaithful to him or her, you need to think it through. Is your spouse even aware of your dissatisfaction in that relationship, or you just assume that he or she knows what is in your mind? So if you become so dissatisfied and you are really having one issue or the other with their attitude or their behaviors, or probably about your sex life, you need to just speak up. You don't need to keep calm about it. You don't need to let it eat you up, and because of that, you decide to become unfaithful at the end of the day. So talk about those things that you don't like, that are upsetting you in that relationship. Because most times, my friend, lack of communication destroys relationship and sets up the stage for infidelity. For example, you notice a behavior or an attitude in your partner and you're not happy about it. Now, instead of talking about it, you put it inside your heart and you bottle it up. And then another thing happens. You have a diary and you take a paper and you write it down. And this continues to pile up in your head. You will not talk about it. You keep silent about your spouse's or your partner's misbehavior. And this continues to trouble you on the inside. And then something happens and an angry outburst. You suddenly just walk out of him or her and leave your home. Then you go out, you drink, and somehow, you now found consolation in the arms of someone else. Meanwhile, all you could have just done was to just talk about it. You know something? If you are able to put out tiny fires, tiny quarrels and problems at that initial phase, likelihood is that the bigger problems and the bigger fires would not arise at all. When you begin to get dissatisfied with your partner, you begin to have resentment inside of you, and it's usually so difficult to erase these grudges in your heart. Your ability to identify the cause of your cheating habits will help you resolve these differences between you and your spouse so that temptation will not arise at all. So it is important for you to identify what is causing you to look outside of your relationship. The third advice that I have for you is for you to watch your thoughts. Know that your thought controls your feelings, and your feelings controls your actions. So you have to think good and pure thoughts. There are a lot of things that can affect the quality of one's thoughts. For example, when you begin to watch pornography, it can set your body aflame, and you begin to imagine several sexual activities, and you will begin to think that your partner will not be ready to try out all these sexual techniques. And then the next thing you do is to get a sexual professional. Another possibility is that you meet someone in your place of work or wherever, and you're attracted to this person. And by the time you get home, you start imagining and fantasizing about this particular person. And before you know it, a lot of thoughts will start coming into your mind. So you have to really watch your thoughts and subject your emotions to yield to the decisions that you have taken to remain faithful to your partner. The fact that you are in a relationship does not mean that you will not admire or like someone else. But when you begin to fantasize about them and create erotic thoughts in your mind, it is very disastrous. So you have to take steps to control your feelings, and you don't have to allow your emotions to begin to control you. Else, you will get trapped in an illicit affair that you never bargained for. So you have to watch your thoughts all the time. The fourth advice that I have is for you to avoid any form of physical contact that can spark up an erotic relationship between you and someone else. When you are attracted to someone else, try to keep your distance. You also have to avoid any physical contact with this person. For example, you have to avoid hugging, shaking of hands, giving a peck, or even outright kissing of this person. Try to limit texting and phone conversation with this person that you're attracted to as much as possible. You can be friends, but set your boundaries. When you allow friendly gestures and affection to blossom, it will begin to weaken your defenses. You're just a normal human being. So don't think you are so strong. You have to avoid all these things so that you don't start a fire that you can't quench. Giving someone else an opportunity to be so close to you can keep you on a spot. You can, apart from falling in love with this person that is outside, you can start comparing this person with your partner. You begin to see them as more caring, more understanding. You say words like, oh, this person is so loving. Look at what she said. Look at how she showed concern over my affairs the other day. My wife or my friend does not even, give me this kind of attention. And so that comparison starts. And you're setting up the stage for something very complex. And before you know it, you're already in an illicit affair with this person. Like I said previously, if you're not satisfied with your partner, have an honest conversation. Speak up and trash out some issues that is bothering you. If you fail to do this, you'll begin to give attention to someone else to mess with your head. You are setting up the stage for an illicit affair. Giving attention to someone other than your partner is very dangerous. Allowing them to come very close to you can lead to a lot of temptations. So don't allow it to happen at all. Don't. Avoid such erotic relationships like a plague. Don't allow resentment to pile up in your heart. It can build up over time and lead to a very terrible disharmony in your home. The last strategy that I'll be sharing with you today is for you to reconnect with your spouse on an emotional level. A lot of the time, the thought of cheating starts when there is an emotional disconnection between you and your spouse. It can happen from lack of affection or lack of sexual satisfaction, and so many other things can make you emotionally disconnect in your relationship. It's so common for couples to get so engrossed in their jobs, their businesses, child upbringing, that they get so drained both physically and emotionally. This alone can affect their relationship, and they begin to lose that spark and that connection between them and their partners. Marriage becomes so cold and very boring. Before long, one party begins to cheat. So it's very important for you to reconnect with your partner by doing some activities together, such as going on a date, listening to good music, going to a cinema, and just try to bond in a very special way. Do something fun together to bring back that fire. Remember, a long-lasting relationship takes a lot of work. So you need to invest time, reconnect on an emotional level. Try to get back to that phase, that honeymoon phase, and get reconnected to your spouse today. I hope that these 5 strategies that I shared in this video will set you on the journey to become more faithful to your partner. If you are yet to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button, because I'll be bringing you more content like it so you don't miss out on any of my videos. I'll appreciate if you share your experiences in the comment section below, and don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. Until I see you again, stay in peace.